before history was written, before the gods of Olympus, before the pharaohs of Egypt, they came. From beyond the stars, from a distant world named Nibiru, a planet shrouded in gold and legend, they descended. They were not spirits, nor myth. They were beings of flesh and mind, advanced far beyond what Earth had ever known. The Sumerians called them the Anunnaki, those who came down from the heavens. But who were they really? And why did they come to Earth? According to the lost book of Enki, they arrived not for conquest, but for survival. Nibiru's atmosphere was deteriorating. Their solution? Gold, not for wealth, but to suspend their dying skies in a protective solar veil. The Anunnaki found Earth rich with resources. They built their first colony, Eridu, home in the faraway. Here the gods toiled, but even gods have limits. Among them, two brothers emerged, Enki, the scientist, the creator, Enlil, the commander, the enforcer. Together they would shape the destiny of an entire planet. But Earth was never meant to be their final legacy. It was the beginning of something far greater, something genetic. We dive into Earth's transformation, from untouched wildlands to a planetary laboratory. The great genetic experiment is about to begin. The Earth was raw, untamed, a garden of wild elements, ancient seas, and limitless possibility. The Anunnaki did not find paradise, they forged it. Here, under the command of Enlil and guided by the mind of Enki, they began a sacred endeavor. In the southern cradle of Mesopotamia, they built Eridu, the first city. It was not a city of worship, but of science. Their mission: extract gold from Earth's deep veins, but labor was costly. The Agigi, the lower-ranking Anunnaki, toiled beneath the Earth's crust. For centuries they endured, until they refused. Faced with revolt, a decision had to be made. They would not abandon the mission. They would create a new labor force. Enki saw potential in the beings already walking Earth. Primitive, but promising. With the help of Ninmah, they mixed the essence of the gods with the blood of the earth. From this union, Adamu was born, not created from dust, but from code. He would not be the last. The experiment had begun, but the consequences were beyond even the gods. Witness the Great Divide, the war of ideologies between Enki and Enlil, a cosmic brotherhood shattered by power, pride, and prophecy. From the beginning there were two, brothers of the stars, sons of Anu. But even among gods, unity is fragile. Enki, the scientist, Enlil, the commander, together they forged Earth's destiny, but their visions of the future could not coexist. Enlil saw Earth as a colony, order through control. Enki saw Earth as a sanctuary, a garden to be nurtured. The creation of Adamu fractured them. To Enki it was liberation, to Enlil, blasphemy. He feared rebellion, contamination, the rise of mortals. Enki defied the council again. He gave humanity knowledge, the fire of gods. He gave them language, logic, consciousness. To Enlil, this was betrayal. To gift mortals with divine understanding was to risk everything they had built. The two brothers, once inseparable, now stood on opposite sides of destiny. Their war was not one of swords, but of souls. In silence, the stars watched, as Earth's children stumbled forward, torn between their makers. But the war was far from over, and the storm had only just begun. Witness the wrath of the gods, a flood, a purge, a reset of history. But even water cannot erase what the stars have written. The skies opened, the oceans rose, and the world was silenced beneath water. This was no natural flood, it was a purge. A calculated erasure of a species that had learned too much. Enlil, fearing the rise of man, proposed the ultimate reset. The records say the council was divided, but in the end the decision was made. Let them drown. It was not just an act of wrath, it was a declaration. We decide who lives and who forgets. But Enki could not let them perish. He defied the order again. He chose one to survive. Ziusudra, the pure-hearted, was given the design for an ark, not just of wood, but of knowledge. The flood swallowed the world. Civilization, memory, voices gone in days. But not all was lost. A new earth emerged. The gods watched from the stars, but this time, the humans would remember. Through fire, flood, and flame, they passed on what little truth they could. A whisper of stars, a fragment of gods. Beneath centuries of dust, sealed in silence when they waited. The tablets of Enki, 12 in all, record not just history, Sunday, but memory. Encoded in clay are the words of a god, or perhaps a witness. The first 5 tablets are a cosmic journal. They speak of Nibiru, of Anu, the High King, and of Enki's arrival on Earth. Enki tells of the creation of Eridu, the struggles with Enlil, the birth of Adamu, and the first whispers of rebellion.
What we have done cannot be undone. In their image, we shaped them. In our defiance, they now awaken.
Why record such truths? Why defy a council that forbade remembrance? Because Enki foresaw what others denied, the cycle of rise and ruin. That knowledge once born cannot be buried. That truth seeks return. The tablets were scattered, encoded, buried beneath time. Some believed they were read in Babylon, others in Egypt. Some say they whisper still to those who remember the stars. Their message was never meant for kings, but for those who would listen. For the ones who would awaken. Footprints of the gods are found across Earth, from Sumer to Egypt, from Mesoamerica to the stars. The legacy of the Anunnaki is not lost. It is everywhere. They were not confined to one land. Their reach spanned oceans, deserts, and time. From the stone cities of Sumer to the mysteries of Machu Picchu, whispers of the gods echo across civilizations, different names, same blueprint. In Egypt, he was Thoth, the scribe of the gods, master of sacred science. But his Sumerian name was Ningishzida, the son of Enki. The legacy lives in stone and stars. Pyramids mirror the heavens. Texts speak of the Necheru descending from the sky. Gods, or memory. In the Americas, they remembered him as Quetzalcoatl, a pale god, bearded, descending from the sky, bringing knowledge, then vanishing. The stories change, the essence remains. Across Earth, signs point to a shared teacher, sacred geometry, cosmic alignment, forgotten science. Impossible, unless those who taught came from elsewhere. They left us symbols, myths, monuments, but what about their children? What about us? The genetic thread, the hybrid bloodlines, the starseeds, and the forgotten truth inside the human genome. It wasn't just history they left behind. They left a trace in us. What if your blood remembers? What if your soul is older than you know? According to the tablets, humanity was shaped, not born. A deliberate hybrid, crafted from Earth's raw life and the celestial essence of the gods. But it did not stop at labor. Some humans were chosen, modified, elevated. Science has quietly noted the outliers. Unexplained bloodlines, heightened awareness, intuitive memories. They call them starseeds, souls who carry the signature of the stars. Starseeds awaken differently. They don't fit in. They remember dreams that aren't dreams, languages they've never learned. They carry a mission, one even they often forget. They are the dreamers, the builders, the ones who feel Earth is not their first home. Perhaps you are one of them. Perhaps the Anunnaki are not just in our past, but waiting for us to remember who we are. The orbit of prophecy, the return of Nibiru, and the signs in the sky that may herald the return of the gods. Every myth hides a warning, and every orbit completes a return. They called it Nibiru, the planet of the crossing, the home of the gods, and according to ancient records, it returns. Modern astronomers have long speculated about Planet X, an unseen celestial body affecting orbits beyond Neptune. Is Nibiru more than a myth? The ancients weren't guessing. They knew. They charted the heavens, encoded return cycles in monuments, from the Sumerian king list to Hopi star prophecies. From Revelation to the Book of Enoch, they all point to a time of return, a cycle of cleansing, a reset of Earth. Nibiru's passing, they said, brings more than visitors. It brings upheaval, earthquakes, fire, flood, but also awakening. The signs are subtle. A strange glow in infrared, a disturbance in the heliosphere, a whisper on solar winds. Is it coming back? Or has it already returned unseen? The gods may never have left. They may be watching, waiting for the stars to align. Modern science and quantum theory are beginning to catch up with ancient knowledge, and how the impossible may already be real. We live in the age of proof, equations, algorithms, observable truth. But what if the ancients were always one step ahead? What if modern science is only rediscovering what was already known? Quantum theory teaches that reality is not fixed. Particles exist in superposition. Consciousness alters matter. Sound familiar? In the temples of Egypt, sound was used to heal. In the Vedas, Om was the frequency of creation. Today we call it vibrational physics. Our DNA carries codes not just of biology or kadut, but of intent. Patterns in our cells mirror cosmic fractals. Geometry, once sacred, now understood as the blueprint of nature. We build what they described: zero-point energy, anti-gravity drives, space-time manipulation. Coincidence or convergence? Science is the language of proof. Myth is the language of memory. Together they form revelation. We are not just discovering new truths. We are remembering ancient ones, and some are ready to protect that memory, not at any cost. Uncover the secret war for knowledge. The gatekeepers, the secret societies, and why the truth was hidden for so long. Where there is truth, there is control. Where there is memory there are those who seek to erase it. Throughout history, knowledge has been power, and power has always had its guardians. The Anunnaki legacy was too dangerous to share freely, so it was hidden by kings, priests, and later secret societies. They preserved fragments, symbols, rituals, but not all had pure intentions. Those who remembered the gods became heretics. Those who spoke of the stars became witches. What could not be erased was demonized. The truth went underground. The real history of Earth, and whispered in mystery schools and guarded by oaths. But the symbols remain in temples and cathedrals. On the dollar bill, the watchers left fingerprints everywhere. Today, secrets are encrypted, guarded by firewalls instead of flames, but the question remains, why was it all hidden? We ask what it all means. Are we on the brink of a cosmic return or the edge of a mass awakening? The truth was never lost. It was waiting. Hidden in temples, encoded in stars, and buried deep within you. This awakening isn't just external, it is cellular, a remembering that bypasses logic and speaks to the soul. You've felt it, the pull to the stars, the synchronicities, the inner voice whispering, oh, you've been here before. Across Earth, something is stirring. People are waking up, not just to corruption, but to cosmic memory. This is not rebellion, it is reclamation. The archives are opening. The greatest archive is not buried beneath stone. It is encoded in your blood. It is whispered through intuition. It is carried in your dreams. You are not lost. You are returning. What was fragmented is being restored. The veil is lifting, and something is coming. The convergence, the final return, the galactic reunion, and the dawn of a new cosmic cycle. There is a moment when all things align, when cycles close and begin again. For thousands of years we've waited for return, for reconnection, not just with the gods, but with ourselves. The ancients knew it was coming, a galactic alignment, a cosmic gateway, the return of Nibiru, and those who watch from beyond. But they are not saviors, they are reminders that the gods are within us. The cycle restarts, not through destruction but elevation. We remember the stars, we remember each other. This time we do not worship, we become. The story is not ending, it is beginning. Again, new myths will rise, new archives will be written by us. You were never meant to forget, you were meant to remember, and now you do. In the end, the Anunnaki didn't leave behind empires. They left decisions, the decision to uplift or suppress, the choice to remember or forget, the responsibility to create or destroy. Enki gave humanity fire, wisdom, genetics, language, music. Enlil gave humanity storms, fear, cleansing, challenge, and through both, we found our mirror. That is legacy, not what is imposed, but what is offered, and now the torch has passed. The stars return to their ancient dance, but you remain a reader, a seeker, a witness, a builder of what comes next. You are the 13th chapter, the one that is not written in stone but in frequency, not read with eyes but felt with soul. This is your legacy, not to merely learn the myths of gods, but to become the myth that others will one day remember. You were never just a species. You were never just a creation. You are a convergence of dust and divinity, of memory and potential. You were never meant to kneel to the stars. You were meant to return to them. And now, the archives awaken. And through you, they speak again.
Thank you for unlocking the Starseed Archives. Help me by subscribing and liking the video. More Starseed Archives are in the making. If this story awakens something in you, it was never fiction. It was memory.